Hey, AfterBuzzers, it's time to talk Pitch Episode 2. And guess what? It's called Interim. Stay tuned. We're going to break it down.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AfterBuzz TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
I don't know what to expect. Hey guys, welcome to episode 2 of Pitch. I mean, we are falling in love with this show. I know I am.
I am too.
Well, we want you guys to tune in, and of course, we also want you guys to be our co-host here at AfterBuzz. Hashtag ABTV Pitch on Twitter, on Instagram, and then you can also follow me specifically on all social media at Janeisha_Miss VI, and I'm gonna let my panel introduce themselves.
You can follow me, Ashleigh Morghan, ASHLEIGHMORGHAN, Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, whatever you got.
Hey guys, you can follow me on all social media at Sheldon White 2.
And you can follow me on social media at Athletic. That's ATHLETCHIC.
Every week we're like, Janeisha and I are like,
I love it. All right, guys, it's Jinsanity. This episode, a lot going on, so we're gonna jump right in. Like I said, Jinsanity. The guys are all distracted, all over the place. They're fighting. What's going on in the house?
Crazy.
What's going on in the clubhouse?
no, they're letting a woman playing on their team get the best of them and making them so jealous.
They're
Yeah.
jealous.
Insecure, mostly insecure, I think.
The media though is throwing it in their face. I didn't really expect to see that. Like I just didn't think about it from that angle, and there were a lot of times that the media was just awful.
Yeah.
They're brutal.
They're kind of trying to turn Jenny against her players
Yeah.
and vice versa.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, it's interesting to see. We see the players play, but we never realize how much media impacts our jobs.
Right.
Impact their day to day, and how they go about actually playing on the field. And so they pay attention to this stuff, and we see that happen this episode. Everyone is affected by the media. Let's jump into Coach Al, who made some crazy comments.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
It just goes back. You got to think about what you say before you say, especially it wasn't on social media, but I mean, people can always go back and be like, oh, you remember when you said this? And then,
crazy.
now he's working with the same woman. He kind of sexualized in a sense and didn't look too good.
You were gonna say something,
He just
Sheldon.
has a good heart though. That's why
Yeah.
I feel so bad for him, because he did make a comment that wasn't appropriate.
Yeah.
But I feel like it didn't come from a super inappropriate place. Like, I think he was
agree.
almost trying to make a little joke, and it just blew up.
Yeah. I mean, and he apologizes
Right.
afterwards, and that was a really good moment. And he talks about how he has a daughter, and one of his daughters is a doctor, and she's beautiful too, trying to kind of connect with her and make up for it.
Yeah.
I think what did he say? He said that she was beautiful too.
He said she's the
But
smartest woman he knows. And I think that's when he said she's beautiful too. And the
that's-
entire time covering his face. But go ahead.
Yeah, he was like, and that's not how I see her. That's just another thing about her. It's not who
Right,
she is. It's not how I
exactly.
look at her.
Yeah, I think because I'm from the islands, and a lot of times the older men back home kind of speak in a way. Well, I promise you I can speak. Where they don't realize that they're offending you, or just saying inappropriate things, but it comes from a good place. Like they're like, "Oh, pretty girl, come here." I think that's where it was coming from, especially being from older.
He was older.
Yeah.
Older.
Yeah.
Older.
Older to the fifth power.
There you go. But I don't think he meant anything by it, and I feel like Ginny accepted his apology because it was genuine. I felt it. Did you guys feel it when you saw it?
So genuine. I couldn't even look at her.
I couldn't tell because, I think I thought it was genuine, but when I saw him reading from the paper, to me it looked like it didn't look genuine and looked
Because those weren't his words. His words
true.
were what he told her in that locker room.
Yeah.
They gave him that statement to read, and at this point, he's just like,
This is what I'm saying.
I already apologized to the girl, and now I'm here making this bogus statement, and you guys are just gonna ridicule this thing and criticize it and break it down anyways. So that's what I thought.
Oh, poor Al.
It's like when I'm thinking, I'm always like, Yeah, he's really got it coming for him.
Yeah, the media's gonna ruin it for him.
Media's brutal this
have.
episode.
Yeah.
It's like everywhere they go, it's like Jenny Baker, Jenny Baker, Jenny Baker, Jenny Baker,
change
Jenny
the
Baker.
channel, change the channel, change
Yeah,
the channel.
like even they're on
everywhere.
the tour bus, they're in the bar, they're in working out. It's like she's everywhere. And I feel like I wrote this down. Like I feel for her, she can't even celebrate her glory because she's too busy trying to protect her teammates. And it's like I understand you want to be one of the boys, Jenny, but look at your accomplishment. Like take a minute and appreciate that and enjoy that, and not try to feel like you have to protect everybody all the time.
But you know, she makes mention that she has to work twice as hard. That there's just so much pressure on her to do certain things. Even we see it also with Rachel. You know, who we find out later. Big reveal. We'll talk about that. But there's just all this pressure for her because she's in this position that she needs to be doing this or saying this. Amelia does the same thing too. Oh, you shouldn't make this statement. You shouldn't. Everybody's telling her what to do.
Right.
You know. But what are your thoughts on that?
I mean, Amelia is very controlling.
Yeah.
Another person, though, who just has Ginny's best interest at heart and her best interest at heart, obviously because of her career. But I thought it was pretty wild that she wouldn't release a statement. And she's like, you're not ready. That's my job. Like, that was the time I didn't love her.
Yeah,
I guess
yeah.
I would say.
I agree. Especially when she got a direct order from Ginny saying, listen, put out a statement. This is what I want to do. Exactly. And then you're going to turn around and not do it? Ooh.
She's like, oh, you're not ready. That's not what your career is yet.
Yeah, that's not what I'm here for. Go ahead.
If she wants to do that, if she wants to make a statement, if that's what she thinks is best for her career, then who are you to tell her no? I know you're her manager, but at the same time, like now it makes Jenny look like a liar when she's thinking something is going to happen and it doesn't happen.
Right.
Could you imagine if she told everybody like, oh, I made a statement. Like, oh, just keep watching, and then never
nothing happens.
Right, then it makes her look, ingenuine.
What are your thoughts, Jess?
Disingenuine.
I mean, one of my biggest criticisms of her at this point in the show is that she needs to like loosen up. She's
Jenny or Amelia?
Jenny. But then now that I'm thinking about all this stuff, I can see why she is so
Uptight.
Yeah, I mean, I the whole show I'm thinking, man, this girl needs to loosen up and just be smiling and happy and fun and now that when you guys are saying all of this, I'm thinking about it and I'm like, no wonder she is the way that she is right now.
Yeah.
Because she is almost like a robot. Like she has to do and say what everybody does and she can't even speak her mind and have it out there.
Yeah. Not to mention she doesn't have the support of the boys. They're,
Right.
Well, we see different parts because I feel like some parts of this episode we see them getting along with her, but then slowly but surely they start to fall off, and then they're having all these issues in the clubhouse, in the locker room, and it's just interesting. Like, okay, why is everybody so mad? I don't think that her getting all of this publicity, warrants their behavior. I'm sorry. I think it's bizarre. I think they're being childish at this point, and of course we see Mike step in.
it's like they're losing and they want to blame something, and she's just the easiest target.
Even though she's helping them win.
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
Right.
they're getting publicity. They're having sold out games because of her, but they're mad about it. It's like your team's losing. You're not going to get this publicity otherwise.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess that jealousy thing is a bit.
It is.
It's a big.
And it's one or two players, and then they say something, and then it affects other people, and it's just like a negative like aura. I don't know. It's like kind of annoying to me. Like it is. I'm like she's trying her hardest to fit in, and it's not even like she's being fake or she's like putting on makeup. Like she's really trying to fit in with them, and they're just like, nope, can't sit next to me on the bus. You can't. Don't talk to me. I'm not going out with you. And it's like, what can she do?
Yeah.
I wonder what they expect from her. Like, what do they really expect from her? Because she's going, she's playing, she's staying focused, she's trying to avoid the media. Like, what do they want?
Exactly.
But like, what would you do in that situation if that was you? Because I think she handles it perfectly.
I agree.
think so too.
She's trying not to be a distraction.
She's trying not to have the special treatment.
She could be a diva if she wanted to
Oh my
be.
gosh, yeah.
Like, I want my own private room to change in.
Yes.
I'm winning for you guys. I'm the one bringing the sold out people. She could be like that any
Yeah.
second. And she's not. She's still working hard. She's still respecting her teammates. And I'm just like, it frustrates me that they're so mean to her. And like, all she's trying to do is help the team out.
I agree. Let's jump into the story of her. We finally get to see who her big brother is.
Yeah.
Willie!
We found Willie. I like
Hashtag
Willie.
we found Willie.
Willie.
I love Willie.
I didn't know Willie was her older brother. Did you guys think he was older?
I thought he
I
was
got the
older.
idea that he was.
Yeah,
Yeah.
me too, guys. Totally. Because in the flashback, he looked smaller.
To
So
you?
yeah.
Not to me.
I just saw him getting hit. That's all I
Yeah,
She was a
that's-
baby.
She was so.
She was
yeah.
tiny.
I guess I didn't know.
It was a quick second. So
Yeah, obviously he's older.
yeah.
Janeisha told you that.
right. No, but we, these flashbacks, of course, they keep coming in, and we
I
get to
love
see
that.
the backstory.
That's
I
great.
love that.
Yeah.
My favorite my favorite flashback this episode, of course, I think is Amelia's story. We'll talk about that in a second, but let's talk a bit about Will. Okay, we see that he stepped up to the plate when Daddy died to be Ginny's manager agent. What do you guys think about his position in her life?
I think it was great at the time, probably. Like once she was starting to like get her like feet wet and she was getting into it, he was great and he was doing what he could do.
Yeah.
It was unexpected for me because after we spoke last episode, we talked about, I wonder how he's feeling because she kind of like took his place for his father. And so to see him like so selfless and, being there for her and supportive, I was really happy. I love Willie.
Such a good guy.
I know.
I'm like, I lost what I was gonna say.
Brain fart.
Also so big of him.
Yeah.
To be able to walk away.
Oh, I know. Yeah, I think I feel like both Jenny and Willie have some, I don't know if it's like animosity towards their father, because when they were at the dinner, he was like, Jenny's dream, and he was like, my dad's dream. And she had a look on her face.
Yeah.
And it's like, I feel like they're both doing it for their dad. And I feel like Jenny at this point now can't turn back because her dad's gone, and she knows that's what her dad would want.
Granted, I still think she has a love for the game,
Oh, yeah, definitely.
But there is that pressure to, live up to her father's dream because he's gone. And I'm pretty sure she feels like it's her fault.
Right?
Considering they were driving from his game, from her game.
Yeah.
She was talking to him while he should have probably been looking at the road, and, he's gone. Big accident. He's gone. So at this point, she just feels like, I feel like she feels like she has to do this.
Like obligated?
Obligated to do this. And so does Willie, feeling,
He's
what?
so cute.
I'm the only man in her life right now.
Stop.
And it was so sweet to hear him say, you're the most important woman in my life.
Yes.
I was like, oh, well, what about Mama, first of all? But,
Right?
Yeah.
hey, but just to see him step up and be that father and brother role for her is, I thought it was awesome.
So touching. And then she was like cheese ball.
Yeah.
I was like,
Did you tear up?
their touching
was-
moments
that
like
was-
get to me so
No,
much.
I
I'm
know.
always like
Yeah.
I'm very dramatic, but like it takes.
You're a little dramatic.
I love it though. I love it. When it comes to shows, like I usually am not such a tearjerker, but like this show, like it's like, like when their tearjerker moments come,
Yeah.
it's like straight to the heart. Like like. I'm like, okay, Willie and Jenny. Willie's gonna go home with Mom, and
Speaking of tearjerker, we're gonna get into her personal story in a sec, but let's talk a little bit about Amelia. Now we see how she got involved with Ginny before we actually find out why she made that move towards seeking her out. We do see that she comes to her game. By the way, walking in that mud in those high heels. Shout out to you, Amelia.
looking stylish.
She did it with like so much confidence. I was like, girl, I don't know if I could do that in some mud. But yeah, no, it was interesting to see her come to the game. She's paying attention and she basically convinces both of them, like, you need me as the agent in Ginny's life. What did you guys think about that scene?
It was interesting too because she's like, I'm not a sports agent. So I mean, if I'm playing a sport and you're not a sports agent, I'm like, why? What do you want from me?
That's why Ginny left. But
Right. It's interesting to me, and she's like, I'm not a sports agent, but I can still get you where you need to go.
Yeah.
So I thought that was really interesting, and I think like, I don't want to say she kind of brainwashed Willie, but she planted the seed.
Yeah.
She said, if you really love her, you'll do what's best for her in a sense, and he did.
Yeah, I mean, she just showed up. She's like, this is what I want. This is what's happening, and I'm doing it. And she just did it, and it was, I mean,
Yeah, I love it. I
typical
mean,
Amelia,
and
it
it's a
seems like.
woman representing the first female. I mean, I don't know if there's any female agents. Maybe, I don't know. But I just think, I just love that, like, there's like girl power in this.
Boss B.
There's a lot, a very strong, like confident girl power.
Yeah.
It's not like, oh, and men, I'm shy, but there's like, this is who I am. Bam.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm using bam a lot.
Bam.
I'm like,
What you feeling like? You need to hit a punching bag.
yeah, I mean, like Jenny was working out, and I was like,
Bam.
oh man, I need to be doing that.
We do get to see both of their strong personalities clash a little bit in this episode because we talked about it a second ago. But Amelia thinks she can call all the shots,
Right.
But no, boo, you're not the boss. You're not the big boss.
You listen to me.
Jenny's the big boss. I loved when Jenny stepped up to the plate and was like, "Listen, I'm calling the shots around here, Mama."
Yeah, it's about time.
Yeah.
And I loved how like Willie gave her that pep talk,
Yes.
and she remembered it. I just thought that was so sweet.
Yeah.
And it was finally coming out of her.
I want to see Willie in present day. I'm excited.
I
We
want
saw
to see
Willie.
Willie in the studio. I'm just
Yes.
saying.
Where's
love
Willie?
Willie.
Where's
We're
Willie?
still looking for you, Willie. You're in the flashback, but where are you now? That's still a thing.
All right, while we're still talking about Amelia, let's just jump into the really, really emotional part of this episode that just kind of threw me a curveball. Yeah, we find
Which
out
one?
why.
Yeah.
Well, we
Like,
find out
seriously.
why Amelia actually even sought out Ginny in the first place because it comes in the end of the episode. But Ginny asks her why does a big time agent like you come all the way to what did she call it? Bumble ass Texas.
Yeah.
For a ball player, well, not for a ball player, but to represent her as an agent, and we see why. What did you guys think about her?
I was shocked. I had no idea any of that had happened. Obviously, I mean, we don't have a backstory for her yet, but
Yeah.
I was totally shocked. What did you guys?
I was really excited to see it because at this point she's almost a little ice queenie. And it
And
now
now it made her
Kinda see
human.
why.
Yeah,
she's a human now.
Yeah.
She has a heart. She has a reason for everything. So yeah.
I agree. We got to see Amelia vulnerable, which I think up till now we probably would have not seen because
Yeah.
she has this hard exterior.
Yeah.
But to see why is very interesting to me.
Man, that was cold. Like her ex is Eric, I believe is his name.
Yeah.
He what did she say in 2 sentences? You obliterated my life
You're
in
lying.
2 sentences. Excuse me if I won't give you the privilege of seeing the satisfaction of seeing me cry.
That line, oh my, like, kudos to the writers on that one because that is literally how you feel when someone just breaks your heart to the core. I mean, obviously they didn't have a good relationship. I mean, we don't know, but from what Eric was saying, but like,
There's so many other ways he could have said it.
Oh,
Jeez,
sure.
right.
And different
and right
times.
on the spot.
I'm
yeah,
done
I
with
know.
this with you. I'm like, but you know what? It gave her the fuel to do something positive.
Quit.
Quit her
Yeah.
job.
Quit her job.
Move.
Elliot was like,
And Elliot was like,
I love Elliot
Jumps
too.
up.
I love that they worked together at their old previous job. Like, how funny is that?
Yeah,
For
history.
X-Men, whatever it was.
That was so funny.
Yeah, Elliot was like, "Oh, you gone? I'm gone too. Peace out." It was a good moment. So now we understand how Elliot came into play as well.
Right,
So it's
right.
great. I'm loving the backstories. All right, let's jump into to the team captain, Mike Lawson.
I think he's so cute. I always had a crush on
you?
Zach
I love
Morris.
him.
Yes, you've loved him
since Saved by the Bell. He's so
course.
cute.
Of course.
And now he's like a manly man.
He honestly
Hey, Zach.
looks completely
I
different.
keep calling him Zach. Hey, Mike.
He looks completely
He
different
does.
from his.
Oh
Saved
my
by the
gosh,
Bell
I
days.
didn't even
mean, that was a long
recognize
time
him.
ago, but, like,
honestly.
I think I crept on his Instagram because and like when he doesn't have the beard, he still looks like he still has
Okay.
the little baby
Yeah.
face.
Yeah.
It's super cute. And I
Okay.
stalked his Instagram. for
Well,
2 hours.
Mike definitely stepped up to the plate this episode in terms of, well, not necessarily with the team, but for sure with Ginny. I think we see this entire episode, he's there for her. He's very supportive. He's very, aware of what's going on with her and attentive and just making sure that, he keeps her focused and on track. What did you guys think about Mike this episode?
I love Mike.
I do too.
I thought it was great. I love the scene where
literally
they were.
love Mike.
Yeah. I love the scene where they were working out.
I was
Yes.
gonna
Have you ever
say.
been at the gym on the treadmill and somebody gets up next to you?
Yes.
I legitimately do
Yes,
that.
and
Yeah,
pass out.
I'm like,
have you ever worked out with a guy and like it's
Oh,
like
yeah.
that is true. You're constantly like, oh, you're doing push-ups. Well, I'm doing
yeah,
push-ups.
I
Oh,
gotta
yeah?
show them the girl can
You're-
do it,
you're
right?
doing squats?
Like
Well,
I
I'm
will,
doing
I will
squats.
sprint it out,
Me
and I will
too.
make them get off the treadmill next to me.
And I'll increase the incline.
Yeah.
Like, oh yeah, you wanna go up the hill too?
Let's go.
But yeah, I feel like Mike is learning now that he has to create a legacy.
Yeah.
I think it's all starting. You know, before when Blip was telling him like, this is your legacy. Like, you need to step up. I think now he's realizing, oh shit, like I'm getting old. I can't do this forever. I need to step up. I need to have someone to pass on my skills and my technique to.
Speaking of getting old, we see those knees are not working out for him.
I'll ice them for you, Mike Lawson.
I also like how he helped direct Ginny. He was like, you have this platform, use it for good. Like, I'm excited to see him continue to direct her in a good, positive way, because he knows what to do.
He does. And he was dropping all these gems and all these like little seeds, like, all right, go and do this. Go. Yeah. And that's what a captain should do, you know?
Yeah, he was telling her too, like, we need to work together when we're out in the field. You can't keep, you know, waving me off. You have to be in communication. Like, I'm here to help you. I can catch your fast ball. Don't doubt me. You know, I know, because obviously Ginny has a huge problem with trusting people.
Yeah.
He's like, you can trust me, you know? Like, so I'm excited to see how they, like,
I think it's more is also in addition to maybe saying trusting people. I think she may doubt herself at times because she keeps saying throughout this entire episode, you know, I tap out, my fastball taps out at 87, and like she knows it's the slowest fastball in the game, and it's just like she's aware of that, and okay, we know, but like I feel like that's just on her mind constantly, and so he's like, you gotta trust me, like trust my changeup, like when I change a channel, you gotta trust me, and like let's work as a team. And I thought that was really great that he did that.
I think so too.
I did want to see a little more baseball in this episode, I have to say, because I wanted to see that interaction. I'm sure we'll see plenty of it. I'm sure the next episode's going to go right back on the field, but that was one thing that
I wonder how they're going to do
that, and I wanted to see how it went, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, that just goes to show that this show isn't just about baseball, right? You know, and it's interesting because now we're getting to actually dive into more so their personal lives versus just the game,
which is also great.
Yeah. But we want to see a little more baseball next time.
Yeah. I wonder how they're going to show like just enough story with baseball. You know, so it's not just, okay, this isn't really about baseball. It's actually just about the story. But I want to see a nice 50-50 of both. I think it's because it's interesting to watch baseball.
60-40.
60-40. Yeah. We like more
story. I want to see them play. I want to see how they actually get out there and play against other teams other than the Dodgers.
Well, I mean, let's moving along with Mike. Let's talk a little more about the fact that we find out that he used to be married to Rachel.
Bum, bum, bum.
Yeah.
Big reveal. Yep. The reporter who... Our engineers are always on point. Yes. No, but we do definitely see that earlier in the episode, Rachel is, approaching Ginny with all of this, women's empowerment stuff, and you have a platform, you should use it. But then we found out that that's actually, Mike's
his
ex-wife.
I know.
But you know what? Let's talk about that episode. That moment when he went to the house to pick up the stuff. I did not expect that.
No.
Well, he lied on the bus and said that she was the one that was wanting him to come back. Do you remember that?
He's a guy. Sorry.
Right. He was like, yeah, my ex-wife is there. She just wants to see me again and get the boxes. Yeah, and then you get there, and he's like, I got so emotional. I was like, oh my gosh, like he's putting his heart out there for the woman that he loves.
Yeah.
He's seeing the end of his career sooner than he wants. And I think he's realizing, hopefully not too soon, but sooner than he wants. And he's just realizing what else his life is. That must be a really hard thing for an athlete in particular to go through.
Yeah.
I think a lot of it stemmed from everything that was going on in the actual locker room with the coach and so forth. Right. Him just kind of seeing everything kind of fall apart, and then also going through his personal injuries. I feel like in his mind, he's like, wow, things are just falling all over the place. Right. And where is my support system, my background? My backbone, just because you look at Blip, and we're going to talk about Blip and Evelyn's dynamic in a bit, but you see that he has his support system, whereas Mike has nobody but the Uber driver who comes and drop him off.
Right.
He has no one to go home to.
Which, by the way, that was the sexiest Uber driver I've ever seen in my life. But go ahead.
Good. I'll have Mike Lawson. You have the Uber driver. Hi, Mike Lawson.
Clearly.
Wait, what?
But yeah, I just feel like he has no one, in sports. It's always nice to have someone rooting for you, a bigger picture. I know you have the fans, but to have someone to come home to help you when you're not feeling well, or to support you when you've lost a game.
When you're up and down.
Everything. Like, look at the bigger players out. Like, in any sport, they always have someone. Like, most most of them are married because they, you know, they have that support, that love, someone to come home to. He literally has no kids. He's unmarried. He doesn't really have any friends. He has his teammates.
He said he was. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
You got it.
No, I was saying he said he was 37 or 36.
He always says 30 something.
Yeah.
I was going to say he needs an Evelyn.
Yes.
That's what he needs.
does.
Evelyn is amazing. She is the person that I think you'd want to go home to. Like, I don't even know what to say about Evelyn.
We're ready. Okay,
yeah,
we're
I
here
love
at Evelyn.
her.
Let's talk about her. Go ahead.
We know you love Evelyn.
I love Evelyn. Yeah, I think she's the perfect wife of a baseball player. Like, she's so positive. She's so supportive. She never gets upset about things. I mean, could you imagine being married to somebody who for 6 months of the year is at home for a week and then away for a week and then at home and away, and it would be so hard. And then raising the kids.
Yeah.
And then also, when he's home, focusing somewhere else. Like, so much of his attention needs to go to the game.
Exactly.
I think what I love about Evelyn is the fact that she is fully invested. You know, she understands the game. She understands what her husband goes through, and she's there 110% supportive. I mean, who drives all the way to a whole other city to go get a t-shirt because the old one he had, you know, she ruined, and take it to your mama's house so she can cook some pot roast so it can smell like the pot roast? Like, that's just incredible.
Who does that?
And
Like,
she goes to the
I need find
games
it.
and she watches the games so she can give him that feedback of, oh yeah, you were off tonight, you know, or oh yeah, you were on tonight. Like, she doesn't just sit at home with the kids. She goes and supports him at the actual game.
Even his superstitions she supports,
Yes.
which is total craziness, right? Like, this t-shirt did not win you that game or did not get you that hit tonight.
Right, but she
What's
plays
in that
into it.
t-shirt?
No, but that's so big in sports. My dad just was telling me a story about how he wore the same shirt for 11 days because his team was winning. So I'm like,
Oh, so that's
these,
real.
you know, it's real. It is real. Like, my dad's t-shirt
People do
made the
that.
team win the game.
Or hats,
Yeah.
or like, oh, these pants. Like, if your team wins, you're like, oh, these pants. It must be these
Lucky
pants.
drawers and stuff.
Yeah, and you continue to wear them.
Yeah. So that was so sweet.
I mean,
love that.
everyone kind of always wants something to believe in sometimes.
Yeah,
So, you know,
yeah.
having those little trinkets or t-shirts or little just memorabilia that makes you feel like things are gonna, you know,
And her caring about it and not acting like it's a joke.
silly.
Right.
Exactly.
Because it was kind of silly. But,
And it-
you
yeah.
know.
I do the same thing, so.
Right. And I think that makes Mike a little bit more aware too. If you see, when you see someone who has a positive, supportive relationship, you look back like, oh, I had
Right,
that.
exactly.
Exactly. Now she's engaged to.
Okay, so can we
all
talk,
three of
yeah,
you,
can
all
we
three
talk
of you.
about that real quick? Like, do you think you would not tell your ex-husband, like,
No, I wouldn't tell him anything.
You wouldn't? You don't think so?
She also had an affair on him, which I'm
right.
guessing that might have been with David,
Okay.
because he was gone all the time. Not that you should have an affair if your husband's
Right.
gone all the time, because I
That
assume
doesn't
she
make it
knew.
right. Yeah.
She
I just
knew he was a
feel
baseball
like
player.
out of respect for him, you'd be like, hey, by the way,
I'm engaged.
not just
Would
like
you,
in
though?
past.
Would that just
I
start
feel
a
like,
fight?
Yeah, like,
Well,
it
it would-
depends on what.
It probably depends on how intertwined their lives are now. Like, if they've just gone their separate ways, then I don't know that you need to.
Yeah.
You know?
You're
But
right.
if you
I
are
agree.
still in touch,
I agree.
then maybe it would have been nice.
And they
I
don't
agree.
have kids, so it's not
So
like they have
you-
to keep
but also-
conversation.
Exactly, but I just feel like, oh my god,
When-
that was a shocker.
It was terrible
get over it.
timing, but when else would you do it? Like, I
Exactly.
don't know if there's ever a good time.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I agree with you, Sheldon. I think it depends on how your relationship is with your ex, because I mean, I have exes. I don't tell them anything. You know?
Exactly.
Right.
But then there might be an ex that you're friends with, or you're cordial with, and you still have conversations. And it also depends on how long too. How long have they been broken up? How long have they been divorced? Clearly not that long, because he was picking up boxes from her house.
Right.
Yeah.
Maybe he should have asked, like, are you seeing someone? Because he kind of just laid it all out.
Right.
So that's to show you how his ego.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he
that's
just assumed that she was single.
He just
Janeisha?
thought he just
I like
thought
that.
he
He
just
was the
thought I
hottest thing out there.
He thought I was going. He said I'm going to swoop back in and claim my prize. But then he was like, "Oh no!" She was like, "Oh nope, that's not happening."
You think that, or is
Not
it a
today.
heartfelt moment where he was like, I understand this fight,
80-20.
and like,
80-20.
Yeah.
oh, I
His
don't
ego
know.
was there a little bit.
It was.
Yes,
It was not gone. Yeah, for sure.
Because
But
how dare you assume that she's single?
right. Well, is that what he was doing, or was he
Yes,
saying, I think we can work this out. I want to work this out.
But clearly, he hasn't had a conversation with her because
You're right.
It's not like I'm assuming that she's not, most people don't get engaged overnight.
Right.
So she's clearly had to have had somebody in her life. Maybe that's the guy she cheated on him with. We don't know. But the fact of the matter is he should have been like, I don't know if you're seeing somebody. I know you're seeing somebody, whatever.
Right.
But
That's
I just
fair.
want you to
I see
know
you.
that
I
this
see
is
you.
where my heart is.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Not, hey, I
Come
miss
back
you.
to
I
me,
want to
wife.
get back. I want to get back with you, and I messed up. You're number one in my life, not baseball anymore. And she's like,
Yeah,
oops.
which I
Or
kind
I'm
ring on
leaving
it.
baseball soon.
Which I kind of think is messed up too, because
Yeah,
it's like,
that was
oh,
a
now
little-
that you're too old to play baseball, now you
You're
want me
realizing
back. It's
you
like,
think
now that your
that's
knees
fair.
are giving
Maybe
out.
I was
Yeah.
wrong.
Now you want to come back. And I think he was telling her too at the beginning that she needs to stop with all her girl stuff. Is that what he said?
Yeah, with-
because she was coming at Ginny.
yes, exactly.
And I was like, I mean, how dare you just tell her how to live her life, then beg for her to come back, and then be all mad when she says that she's engaged.
He just seems like he's accustomed to getting his way. That's it. So,
Yeah.
I mean, clearly you have the sexiest Uber drivers pulling up and giving you kisses.
Janeisha just
I thought it was his girlfriend for 2 seconds. And
So did I.
And
did
he
too.
was like,
Yeah.
oh, Uber. What?
What is it though?
Is that like Uber black, triple X or something?
That's the sports Uber.
Yeah, where do we get those
Sports
Ubers?
edition.
Exactly.
All right, let's move on a little bit with the episode. So we do see that I'm sorry, his name escapes me at this moment. Is it Oscar?
Yeah.
Yeah, Oscar
The
now.
GM.
GM has to find a new coach because president's just not happy. But he convinces him to keep him around for a little bit.
Kinda.
But then he screws up again on the interview, and he's like, no, he gotta go. So how difficult is that?
Guys, I'm sad.
I know.
At first I was like, remember last week I was saying he was old school?
Yeah.
But then they started talking about everything he's done for the team. I was like, he has invested probably everything that he has into this team. And obviously Al and Oscar, since they work together so often, so closely, they have this like relationship, and it's like,
I can't imagine doing that.
me neither. It's like, because now it's like, Oscar, well, then it's your job. If you're not going to do it, then I'm going to find somebody who will.
I'm curious too, how long? Do we know how long Al's been there?
That's what I'm saying. I'm watching, like, he's a little older. Maybe it is time for him to kind of maybe retire. It's a new time. We have a first female playing in the sport, and it was a hard adjustment for him at first. Maybe it's just time to kind of hang out and cool out. No? I like Al.
I like him
like
too.
I like Al.
I think he's a sweet person. He has good intentions, and he clearly cares about his team. But at the same time, too, it's like, how long have you been doing this now?
And they're losing.
And they're losing,
And he's making negative comments.
like all over the place.
And the media's after him.
We're gonna need you to get it together.
So as an
Al.
owner, of a company, that's your company, your name on that. You can't really have that negativity following you.
especially with a $700 million receipt. Yeah, I'd be like, look, you got to go to. And I think Al knows because we see Buck come after he talks with Oscar, and he kind of gives him a look like, look, they're gonna fire you, and he was like, he already knew that was coming. I think so.
The teammates did too. Didn't Mike was talking about that?
Yeah, let's talk about that inspirational speech. I know we got off of Mike for a second, but let's talk about that locker room situation. It literally got to a boiling point, and then he was just like, all right, this is it. Break it down, guys. What do you think?
It's a brawl every time. I feel like for Mike, he's just so fed up. Like, you're constantly arguing about the same thing, the same joke that she's a girl. Playing girls just want to have fun. Like, how old are we?
Yeah.
We're men. We need to be focusing on the game, not Jenny because she's a girl.
Right.
I thought it was really cool how they did that because while he was making that speech, Ginny was on Kimmel and doing her thing. And I thought it was a really powerful moment and a really cool way to show them
Supporting
working
each other.
together
Yes.
in totally different places. And I thought it was great.
Yeah. And then one thing I liked towards the end of that, like he started giving them a pep talk. One thing that he said at the end, which I was really thinking about afterwards, was, I don't have anything else in my life. Like, basically all I have is you guys, and, we're losing. We need to win in front of these big crowds. And he said, maybe we can go and win these games and I could be proud to be a Padre. And I was like, does that mean like a father? Like, because he was just talking about family, and now he's realizing I don't have family.
That was I didn't even catch that. That's awesome that you got that.
And you know, now that I'm realizing I don't have anybody else and I don't have a family and I'm not going to be a father, he's saying it like that.
I never thought.
Wow,
Look at you
look
getting
at
deep.
That was deep.
Oh, I see.
Snap him.
That was super deep. You're getting all the deep stuff.
No, I was just like, wow. Yeah, I know. I like the pep talk.
Yes, there definitely was an awesome pep talk. Speaking of deep, let's get into Jimmy Kimmel and Ginny. She came out there and she owned that interview.
And I don't know, like, what did you guys think of it? Because as a woman, if you were the first female athlete in a men's sport, like, how would you react on that show?
I mean, well, first of all, you have certain responsibilities when you're in the public's eye. You know, me having a pageant background, I'm a pageant girl, like certain things you are obligated to do as a figure or a person that, you know, your community looks up to, or like they're just certain expectations. And I think that you have that responsibility, you have that platform, you use it for good and for positivity, and that's what she did. I'm happy she did what she did. At first she looked super uncomfortable.
She
was like fidgeting in that dress.
I
was too.
And when she took that moment to like collect her words, I was like, oh.
What was she about to say?
Yeah.
And she did it.
She owned it.
She owned it.
She did.
I was in awe.
I
thought she was just gonna go along with the decorations thing, which I thought was so
cheesy.
Stupid.
Thank goodness she didn't.
And it would look so bad. That would have looked worse for her.
Yeah.
Than what she did was perfect. Like decorating the locker room. Like really.
Yeah.
Like she's trying to prove that she's one of the guys, and you're gonna show her like hanging up like what? I don't even know what she'd even put up in a locker room.
Right.
But I was really motivated. I feel like what Janeisha said, like when you're in the public figure, especially as a woman, especially when things are happening that are kind of similar to your situation. She wasn't raped or anything, but she's a female in the men's locker room. I think she needs to speak on stuff like that. And I think at first she was scared, but now she's starting to realize a little bit of the power that she has.
Yeah.
And I think it's more than that. I know you mentioned earlier when we were talking about, you know, her also not just being a female, but being in this sport, what I would consider a double minority. She's also African American. And you can talk a little bit about that, Jess, if you want.
Yeah, so it's been a big thing in the news about it. You know, I've been thinking about it. Not only would it be difficult to be the first female in Major League Baseball, but 8.5% of Major League Baseball is African American.
Yeah.
So not only is she the first woman, but she's, you know, a minority in the game.
Yeah.
So I thought that was interesting to just think about all the barriers that she's breaking down right now.
Yeah. That's less than 10%.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Like, compared to most other sports that are mostly dominated by African Americans, she's a female and she's African American.
It's a lot, and that's why we understand why she's so tense, and that's why when she goes into this interview, it's like, ooh, she looks like she has the weight of the world on her shoulders, but she handles it just gracefully, like she's been doing this for a minute, and she's 23 in this show. It's just amazing to see how she handles herself on camera. I thought that was awesome.
I wonder if they're ever going to bring up the race. A lot of the times it's just the fact that she is a woman, but I wonder if she's gonna ever have to deal with the fact that she's a black woman. I wonder if that might come into play later down the road.
We'll definitely have to see. Speaking of, you know, since we're on such a serious topic, you know, I know there were some recent incidents and a recent incident in Florida, and Ashleigh, I'm gonna let you take that away if you can.
Oh yeah, Jose Fernandez passed away on September 25th in a boating accident, and I just wanted to touch base on that and, you know, send positive vibes to his family and to the fans and to anybody who loves the sport, because he was up and coming. Like he was fantastic. And it just breaks my heart to see someone so talented leave us so soon. Yeah. So just wanted to have a moment of silence or just a moment of recognition for that. Thanks, guys.
All right. Now, on a lighter note, let's get into some news. And wait, before we do that, did we miss anything? I think we touched on everything.
Well, we didn't talk about the sex scene between Evelyn and...
Well, it wasn't a complete one, but I will say this. I love them together. They are
So
too
great.
cute.
I do.
So great.
Yeah.
They're too cute. I think I wrote that somewhere in all caps. You know, I like all caps, guys. And I said, oh, she's the real MVP, because she is. And,
I saw you write that. I was like, she better say that.
and we love that little neck thing, the twisting, is what she called it. She said, because when she was teasing Blip, she was
she likes Mike Trout,
Oh yeah, that was funny.
which is hilarious.
she was like,
Oh, because he doesn't do the spinny
the spinny thing.
Yeah.
Spinny thing looked like fun. Okay. Blip, blip, blip. All right. Was there anything else, guys?
One quick thing. One of my favorite parts of this show is how 1 minute it's like we're watching a drama, and then all of a sudden we're watching a baseball game.
Yeah.
Then we're watching ESPN, and then we're watching Jimmy Kimmel. And I think the cinematography is really cool. Like I forget that I'm watching this show because it has so many different angles. Like it's awesome.
Yeah.
It's multifaceted.
Definitely. And I think one of our fans pointed out last week that the MLB definitely teamed up with Fox. Is it Fox? Yeah. Fox. Sorry, mine frazzle. I'm on a bunch of shows, but with Fox to actually put this show together, and so we're getting the real deal, like inside of the locker rooms, inside the actual arenas. Like this is just a real deal. Like and it looks amazing on camera. So
you can tell it's not fake. It's not like they're trying to fake a baseball team. I want to see the real deal. Like I want to see more of it. I'm intrigued. I do. I love it. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Let's get into some news and gossip. Wait, I'm gonna ask my engineers to hide those photos a little bit, just because I'm putting you guys on the spot today.
Here we go.
And our co-hosts, you guys can play along on Twitter if you want. Hashtag again ABTV Pitch.
Check the Twitter.
I'm hoping that throughout this entire season we're gonna try and do some fun stuff that will involve you guys. But right now my co-hosts are on the hot seat. They don't know they're doing this, by the way.
I'm terrified.
All right.
I have no idea.
So
I'm so serious.
I pulled some fun facts about some of our stars. We'll probably do some next week. But I wanted to see if you guys can guess who's who. Okay.
Okay.
You guys
Here we go. Let's
no
do
cheating,
it.
Ashleigh. No cheating.
Let's do it.
All right. Okay. So I'm gonna say a few things, and then
Do we not look at the pictures?
Don't look at the pictures.
Okay.
They're not in order anyway, so
Okay,
you wouldn't
perfect.
really even know.
Okay.
Okay. So let's talk
Are you
about. I'm gonna pull out some fun facts and you tell me who. So it's guess who, okay? All right. This actor spoke fluent Dutch as a child.
Ooh.
Okay. He enjoys cycling, motocross, auto race. I just gave it away a little bit. Auto racing. Is also an avid pilot. Has 4 children, and he played.
Mark.
I'm gonna finish this last one. I'm gonna let you answer. He played the same character in 5 different series.
Ooh.
Mark?
Yes, it was Mark.
Oh,
Another
she
cool.
got it.
I crept on his Instagram.
5 different series, of course. Good Morning, Miss Bliss, Saved by the Bell, Saved by the Bell College Years, Saved by the Bell New Class, and Saved by the Bell and Robot Chicken. Sorry. One other cool fun fact is that he colored his hair blonde for every episode of Saved by the Bell.
Oh, so his hair's naturally brown.
Yeah, this is the real deal Mark that we're getting on this show.
Wow.
So,
Mark?
yeah. Okay. All right. So next one.
Getting the next one.
This actor is born in Canada. Wrong person. Born in Canada. Spent 2 years in London, 7 years in Portugal, and then moved to Minnesota. That's where they started modeling. And their father is a Guyanese soccer player, and brother plays for the New England Revolution team.
Ooh. I don't know. I'm gonna guess. Anybody guesses?
Kylie?
Okay.
Oh,
she on it. All right, let's show that picture. Guys,
Oh.
do you see this modeling pic?
I love
creep
that
on people.
picture.
She
Oh
is
my
hot.
gosh, she
You
is.
go, girl. You go, girl.
She's a beeb.
Yep. Yes, she is. All right, so this next.
That was a tough one. Oh
Yeah,
my
that was
gosh.
easy.
I
Okay.
crip on all of them.
This one might be a little tough. Okay, this actor is actually an ordained minister.
Oh.
Was born in Spain but doesn't speak Spanish. Speaks Italian though. And before, this one's a little weird, a weird fun fact, but I'm gonna throw it out there anyways. But before their breakout role, worked as a male exotic dancer at a club, and their stage name was Meat.
Me? Was it?
Oh,
Was
baby.
it Flip?
No.
Is it Oscar?
It's Oscar.
No.
Oh,
who the
it
heck
wasn't
is
the
it?
owner.
I'm not
Oh, that
trying
would
to
be
see that.
hilarious.
Okay, you all guessed wrong. It was Mark Consuelos.
Yeah, Oscar, right? Is he
Yeah.
Oscar?
Oh, sorry. Who said Oscar?
Is he Oscar?
Yeah. Who
Okay.
said Oscar?
Oh.
Okay, so you said
She
Oscar.
got it.
Sorry.
Hola, papi.
Okay.
So funny.
So this next person was signed to Ford Models at 14 years old when a scout spotted them on the street. First acting job was on a TV series called Chicago Suns. and was ranked number 6 on Maxim in 2007. Number 2 hottest person of horror movies, and number 19 on FHM's sexiest woman list in 2008. I think I gave it away.
Ashleigh Larder.
Yes.
Yes, I got one.
Ooh, baby.
I like Ashleigh
Yes.
Larder.
She's a hottie. Go, girl. All right, so this last one, don't post the picture yet, but this person in high school forgo his spot on the basketball team when he landed the lead in a school play. He's also a producer and writer and has appeared in over 30 film and TV projects over the past decade, including Gridiron Gang, Ray Donovan, Sons of Anarchy, and Empire.
It's Blip, right?
Yes!
Yeah.
Nice.
I was like,
Boom.
Processable.
Carly.
Good job, guys. I'm going to have some more fun facts for you maybe next week.
Yay.
So study up.
Yeah, seriously.
Good job.
I gotta
What
start
do-
creeping
what do I win?
Instagram too.
Instagram,
I know.
What do I win?
Just knowledge. And I think we learned, I guess, some cool things about our stars in this show.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And you guys want to get into some predictions?
Yes.
Let's do it.
And now, your AfterBuzz
I love that the lights
TV
flicker.
predictions.
What you writing, Sheldon?
Who's right my prediction?
Who's going first this week?
Sheldon.
Didn't Sheldon go first last week?
I got it. I can go.
Go for it.
I
Go
can
for
go.
it.
Well, Amelia and Mike. Definitely gonna happen. I
think so?
I think it's gonna happen. I think it's gonna be a one-time type deal.
Okay.
I don't think it's gonna be a thing. And I think Amelia's ex is going to come up one way or another. I think that he either is going to show up and they're gonna have an awkward encounter, but I think that Ginny is going to learn the backstory very soon.
Okay.
I
Willie.
think.
More Willie.
Good prediction.
And
Good
I'm very
prediction.
excited that we will see Ginny take an at-bat next episode, because I was wondering why she was in the National League and she hadn't been up to bat yet. We haven't
True.
seen that,
Yeah,
so we'll
that's a
see
good
that.
question.
I've been waiting. Other than that, I'm curious to see what will happen with Amelia and Mike, because I did not see that coming. I thought him and Ginny had a thing.
He watches Ginny's like with these kind of eyes, like
Well, and then when they went to the club, he was like,
acting weird, right?
yeah,
was
and she
weird.
got up to dance, and he was like, "I'm out of here." And
Yeah.
I don't know. So I'm curious to see where that goes.
that's
That's
gonna
not
be
really a
interesting.
prediction, but
Oh, that was a good one too. Go ahead, Ash. You ready? No? Yes, no? Oh, she's
writing.
jotting down notes. She had a lot for you guys. She might take mine. I'm just saying. You ready, Ash? No, you want me to kind of jump in here?
You go ahead.
Okay, so I have to piggyback off of both of you. I do think that Amelia and Mike are gonna have something going on. It may not be serious. It may be serious. I don't know yet. I'm still trying to figure that out, because I too thought that he had eyes for Ginny at a point. He was just watching her very weird, in that last scene. But I also think I'm still with this Blip thing. Blip watched her weird too. They keep showing Blip every time Ginny says something that has anything to do with relationships and men. So
Yeah.
You're right. They
So,
always show her face.
they always show her and they show
face.
his face.
That's
Yes.
what I meant.
So I think there's something there, or something that will happen. Maybe if the situation gets rocky, maybe with him and Evelyn. I'm not sure.
no, I hope
I
not.
don't want it to happen.
I know.
but I see it happening.
we're struggling over here because we love Evelyn.
We do
but
love Evelyn, and you know what? At the end of the day, I think that their relationship is going to be fine. But I do think that we're going to see some sort of some kind of drama come from that, And what else? I'm hoping Alice sticks around. They find some way to keep him. I don't know. But aside from that, I'm hoping to see more of Brother Willie. That's
Brother
about
Willie.
Yay, Willie.
Well, ladies and gentlemen,
it. She got a list. List.
next week on Pitch, episode 3,
Screenwriter. She says right here. Show writer right here.
Amelia and Mike.
Uh-huh.
I think they may kiss, but I don't think it's actually going to go as far as we'd like.
Okay.
I think that Mike may develop something for Ginny. I'm not sure what it is. I can't tell if it's like a fatherly figure,
Yeah,
a
that's
big
what I'm trying
brother
to figure
figure,
out. Yeah.
or I'm going to be a daddy figure.
That kind of daddy, by the way.
I feel like Willie's going to come back in next episode. Yes. I'm interested to see Ginny bat, because they always talk about her pitching, but they never talk about any other position. So I'm interested to see her in the infield. And Buck maybe is a new manager. I wrote that down. I don't think the person she kisses in the preview is Blip. I think that's too obvious, and I think the writers want us to allude that it's him, but I feel like Jenny, I can't remember his name. Jenny is gonna fall in love with the guy with the hair that gives her so much attitude.
Tommy?
I don't see that.
No.
You don't think? I think you're
Hell no.
so parallel opposite right now that
They
something's
are.
going to bring them together. I
don't
mean, they
see
play the
that.
same position.
Yeah,
They're both
they
pitchers.
do.
So eventually they're going to have to, I mean, he's not going to be out the whole season, I don't think.
Yeah.
So there's going to have to be some kind of relationship between them. Just you guys wait.
Yeah.
Just you guys.
I
Remember,
know,
I
if
said,
that
I
happens.
remember you said
you
it.
all pitchers. I said it first.
I'm hoping that we get to see a little more about Ginny's mom. We haven't really heard or seen anything with her, so I'm curious to see if we're gonna get to see that a little bit.
More
But
mama.
aside from that, I am excited to see. I want to know who she was kissing. It's good to see her have a little bit of guy action in her life. Yeah. So
She's not a lesbian, as she said.
as she said,
I think that her mom might have some resentment too. I don't know why, but
the dad probably focused so much energy on.
Yeah.
exactly.
So
She's struggling.
And look what happened with Mike and
So
his
much.
relationship.
Yeah. So, I guess it's pretty much what's left to say is that we have to stay tuned because next week they're going to bring some more for us to break down. And you guys tune in each and every week with us. Please, right here at AfterBuzz. And of course, you can find me on all social media at Janeisha_Miss VI. Where can I find you guys?
On all social media at Ashleigh Morghan, ASHLEIGHMORGHAN.
Nice.
All social media at Sheldon White 2.
And you can find me online at Athletic. That's ATHLETCHIC.
We love it.
We love it. We do. Until next week, guys. Thanks for tuning in. And bye.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.